From an early age, Dick Cavett knew that he wanted to go into show business. His natural talent and intellect were an unstoppable combination. His father, Alva, a media teacher in Lincoln, was quick to predict his fate.
Well, he enjoyed very much standing up in a chair or a seat and declaiming something, saying some poetry or whatever. I could see, well, poor devil, he's going to be in show business some way. No way I can discourage it.
In fact, Dick Cavett had lots of encouragement and nurturing. His grandfather was a Baptist minister from Wales with a powerful voice. From his father, he learned the joys of reading and language. His mother, Arabelle, who tragically died of cancer when Dick was still a child, also left her indelible imprint.
His mother was a marvelous person in the field of dramatics and showbiz, and he inherited lots of his interest that way and a lot from his father, as you could see. So he had a great background in all this, and I was lucky to get in on it.
The lucky lady is Lincoln's well-known television math teacher, Dorcas Cavett. A longtime neighbor and family friend, Dorcas became Dick's stepmother, entering a world of non-stop activity.
We had the old-fashioned kind of basement, and we transformed that into a regular showroom. We put up some old blue drapes and had a stage, and every time I'd come home from school, he would be down there entertaining the neighborhood kids with shows or magic or something of that kind.
He always had so many powerful interests that the job was not, what am a kid going to do now? It's, how is he going to get all these things in that he wants to do?
Among Dick's powerful lifelong interests is magic. By the age of 15, he had won the Best New Performer trophy at the International Magicians Convention.
I remember vividly the night that he wanted to go see Johnny Carson. It was in the basement of Westminster Church, and Johnny was going to do a magic show there. He was not well known at that time either, and Dick was just dying to go over and see him. So we took him over. Naturally, he couldn't drive. When he came home, he was just wound up. He told us in detail everything that Johnny did. And he said to me, "Do you still have that old brown metal suitcase you had in the Marines?" And I said, "Yes." "Could I have it?" "Sure." He took the suitcase and went into his room, and we could hear him in there all night long working around. When he came out in the morning, he had painted across the suitcase the Great Cavett. And we said, "Where'd you get that idea?" And he said, "Well, that guy last night that I saw at the church, he had one like this, and it said the Great Carsoni." And that's when he showed that he was interested in that kind of thing.
Alongside magic came an enduring interest in makeup.
We had read recently Stevenson's Treasure Island. And he got the idea that I think I'll try making myself up as a pirate. And so he did. You saw the picture. When he was in junior high, he always made up the cast. High school, the same. And I think the guy was just about on a professional level.
Dick first performed on stage in a show called The Winslow Boy at Lincoln's Hayloft Theater. By the time he graduated from Lincoln High, he had accumulated as much theatrical experience as many professionals. But Dick's intellect and energy were not confined to showbiz. He excelled in language, served as student council president, and was a state gymnastics champion. Upon graduation, the boy from Gibbon, Grand Island, and Lincoln, Nebraska, headed for Yale University, armed with a steady flow of parental communication. With college behind him, Dick headed for the place he had to be, New York City. Alva and Dorcas agreed to underwrite Dick for 2 years. Before that parental deadline arrived, Dick got a job as a copy boy at Time magazine.
While he was at Time, he went over one night and wrote some material for Jack Parr and gave it to him. And we knew it was Dick. We hadn't heard from him. But he told a joke, Jack Parr told a joke about Milligan, Nebraska. For some reason, years ago, when we were going out west, we saw the sign pointing to Milligan. And this amused Dick no end. He laughed about it and said, "That must be a great town." And here he used the name of that town in this joke. We knew only Dick would have done it, so we knew then that that was his material.
Ironically, it was Dick's language ability that brought about his on-stage television debut.
I think the first time I ever saw Dick on television was the Jack Parr show, and they had Miss Germany on, who had a very beautiful figure, and Dick served as the translator because he speaks German excellently. And Jack Parr said, well, Dick, would you interpret for the young lady? And his first question was, well, what are her measurements? And Dick gave the measurements in centimeters. Of course, they were enormous.
Though he started as a comedian, Dick Cavett became well known to the general public when ABC decided to give him a try in a new interview program that bore his name for 7 years. Like many viewers, Ron Hull of Nebraska Educational Television and family friend felt that Dick turned interviewing into an art.
Dick Cavett brought not only a sophistication but a level of intellectual activity that there really hasn't been anybody since him that has come up to that. If you look at some of those, well, the Katharine Hepburn tape, for example, those are going to stand for a long, long time as being definitive, insightful experiences into those very, very great people's lives.
Cavett's wit and wisdom enhanced his most important quality, his disarming ease and empathy with all kinds of people, from sophisticated writers to unorthodox rock stars.
It never was, and nobody believes me. This is the truth. My son came home with a drawing and said...
I can't quote that famous poem, but we all have our story to tell, and we all fall along the line someplace, and some of us are not as smart as the rest, but somebody like Dick has an appreciation for this great array.
Featured on the covers of Time and Life, Dick had come a long way since that job as a copy boy.
Good evening.
Over the years, Dick has made contributions to the Broadway stage, public television, cable, and the networks. Seen here hosting an NBC tribute to Robert Redford, Dick adds a touch of quality wherever he goes.
And it goes without saying that they both plan to continue making us laugh and cry and cheer and even think for many years to come.
Dick still lives in New York with his wife, actress Carrie Nye, spending leisure time in this magnificent, rambling old house by the ocean. But Dick Cavett's connection to the heartland is still strong. Dorcas Cavett remembers one special night.
We got out, way out in western Nebraska on Highway 2, our favorite highway. And it was a perfect night. So Al stopped the car, and we all got out. There was no one or anything in sight in any direction. And we all lay down on the highway, flat, and looked at the stars, and just thoroughly enjoyed that night. And I think that made a tremendous impression on Dick. I believe it was really, perhaps right then, that he began to really feel for the sandhills.
We're sitting in the sandhills about 21 miles south of Gordon, Nebraska.
In 1978, Dick returned to Nebraska to help with an ETV documentary about author Maurice Sandoz. It is one of the many times that Dick has come home to share his talents and support his friends.
We're singing different versions of this thing.
I can't help it. I forgot the other one.
Oh, hi. Well, as you can see, I'm all dressed up for a night on the town.
For 4 years, he has served as honorary chairman of the Lead Center in Lincoln, encouraging donations for this spectacular performing arts center.
My first visit to one of the newest and best theaters in the country, probably the world, right here in my old hometown.
You know, about a year ago, I said, Dick, do you think you could possibly come to Lincoln? And we wanted him to do a video as an intermission piece for our broadcast from the Lead Center. And he said, have I ever said no? He's always been wonderful to work with. He's a real, he's a Nebraska son to be proud of.
He's never been depressed or discouraged, and, well, he hasn't got time. He's really not interested in what happened yesterday. He's always interested in what's coming up tomorrow.
For all his past and future endeavors, the Nebraska Broadcasters Association is proud to honor Dick Cavett for his exceptional contributions to the industry and his abundant loyalty to Nebraska.